for stopping by my channel. I'm Michelle, and I want to talk to you about June reading plans. They're a little bit different. I'm not gonna be doing the TBR jar. Although, did I do well last month in May? It still is May when I'm filming this. I've still got a couple more days of May, and I have read none that I intend, well, none of the TBR jar picks that I intended. Although, like I said, it's still a couple days left. I could potentially read one. I did read two that I picked in May. But we'll talk about that in the next wrap up that I post. So for June, I have one buddy read. I am going to be reading Evil Eye by Etaf Rum with my friend Maria. This is about Yara Murad, who has worked hard to outrun the demons of her tumultuous childhood in Brooklyn. Now ensconced in suburban North Carolina, Yara has achieved everything she aspired to. She is highly educated and teaches art at a local college. She is also a wife and mother, raising two precocious daughters with her businessman husband, Fadid. But her marriage is nothing like the high conflict relationship she witnessed between her parents as she was growing up. And she knows her life is worlds better than her mother's, with the kind of freedom her mother had only dreamed of. So why doesn't it feel that way most days? Why does Yara experience flashes of anger out of nowhere or a sadness she can't name? When an incident at the college threatens Yara's job and peace of mind, her mother suggests that a family curse could be to blame. While Yara doesn't believe in old superstition, she wonders if an evil eye may be at work. I've heard really great things about this book, and I'm really interested to read Etaf Rum, because I know she has another one, A Woman Is No Man, that is highly reviewed and recommended as well. So yeah, we'll get to that one definitely. I also have, I'm in two book clubs and there's 3 picks. These are both Patreon book clubs that I am a Patreon member of. Krista at Books and Jams. She has 2 picks because we couldn't decide. And I have requested them both from the library. The one I think I'm probably going to read, which you can read them both or you can read just one. It's a fast turnaround for when we're going to talk about it. So I may start on the one that's more in my comfort zone. And that is The Last House on the Street by Diane Chamberlain. I've read Diane Chamberlain before and have enjoyed her more recent works. I think the other one I read, one of her older books I read, actually for Krista's book club, I can't remember which one it was, but that one, it was just okay. So I'm hoping this is one of her more recent ones that I'll enjoy that one. And I actually had checked it out when it first came out. I checked it out from the library and read the first couple of chapters and enjoyed it. But it had no renewals on it and I just didn't read it fast enough. So finally getting to that one. And then the one that's kind of out of my comfort zone is Trees of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. If y'all have been watching for a minute here, I'm not really a fantasy girly. My brain just doesn't go there. And I've tried some fantasy, not a lot, just some. And I'm interested to see if there's a place that I can find that I would be comfortable in or that I can understand the world building. And this is a standalone Brandon Sanderson. It's not a very long, because I know he can have some really thick books. So I've requested at the library. I'm going to read a little bit of it, see if I'm comfortable with it, and go from there. And then I've also joined Becca's book club, at Becca Books in Bujo, and her book this month, I think, is In the Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. This is also meets the buzzword prompt for a repeated word in the title. I have read several Ruth Ware books and enjoyed them, so I'm curious to get to this one. I think this is her debut. And I can't remember if I tried to read this one time a couple of years ago and didn't get into it, but I'm at a very different place with my reading now. So, yeah, I'm hopeful that I will enjoy this one. And then other than that, you'll have seen that I posted about the Big Book Summer Reading Challenge that Sue Jackson is doing. I hope to read one or two of the books that I mentioned in that video, or other 400 page plus books that I have on my shelves that I didn't include in that. But I am going to take a cue from a favorite booktuber of mine, Alice at the Giant Bookshelf. She is doing Joyreading June. And when I was watching her video about this, which I'll link below, it hit me. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to start my summer off. Summer for me, I do work in education. I work in higher education. We don't take summer off. I'm a 12-month employee, so I don't get time off unless I take it. And I don't have any vacation plans yet. So I need some carefreeness, and I don't, unfortunately, unless it's really early in the morning, I don't get a lot of outside time just due to my heat intolerance. Because like I said, it does get really hot and humid in Atlanta. It already is at the end of May. So reading is kind of my thing. I do even more reading in the summertime. So I really enjoy reading. I have found since I started this channel that I can get lost in what makes good content and not as focused on just letting myself be with my reading. And I don't want that to become a habit. I want to enjoy my reading. I feel like me enjoying my reading will show when I talk about the books. Sometimes, as I've mentioned here, my health, I can't read a lot. Sometimes I read a ton or listen to a ton of audiobooks. So I'm looking forward to just focusing on the joy, the why we read. So a few books that I'm sort of thinking about, like I said, this is going to be the Joyreading June, which is what Alice from Alice in the Giant Bookshelf is doing. And I really, really like that. Really like that idea. But it is also Pride Month in June. And so I've got a couple of books on my shelf that I would like to get to. One is The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Most people have either read this or heard of it before. It's about a social worker and some magical kids and, a love story. That's kind of all I want to know. The cover is amazing. So I really hope to get to that. Let's see how many pages would this be for the... Nope, it's 393 pages, which the big book summer challenge is 400 or more. Close, but nope. Another book I'd like to read for Pride Month is My Withered Legs and Other Essays by Sandra Gale Lambert. I am a sucker for a good essay collection, and this is a 70-year history of disability in the framework for Sandra Gale Lambert's collection of personal essays. Here are tales of lesbian love, aging, and the body's changing relationship to itself and the world. Along with the uncertainties, triumphs, and often slapstick humor of becoming a writer later in life, these essays are grounded in queer, crip, and climate politics. So I'm very interested in that one. The dog's climbing all over the place. I also was reading some articles about Alice Munro, who just passed away, and remembered that I had a book of hers on my shelf that I tried to read a couple of years ago, maybe like more than 5 years ago, honestly, and it just wasn't the right time for me to read it. This is Lives of Girls and Women, and it's basically a coming-of-age story for Del Jordan, who lives in rural Ontario in the 1940s. I have found that I'm not a huge coming-of-age reader lately, but I don't know. Just reading more about Alice Munro's life, I thought I'd pull this off and just kind of check it out again and see if it's something that I would enjoy, or maybe I just unhaul it. We'll see. So that's kind of all the plans I have. That's it. I do need to get to another 12 and 24 book. I think I'm 1 month behind. So what I thought I would do is maybe try a chapter for the books that remain, and just see which one I'm gelling with. Joyreading June. Do you want to join? I'll link Alice's video below, and yeah, let me know what your plans are for June, and I hope it's a good reading month for you. Bye.